All right, bud.
What's up, dude?
Dude,
How's
cheers.
it? Cheers.
The Nagelberg podcast numero uno.
This is it?
This is it. Yep, episode number 1.
That's awesome. I'm so
Dude,
excited.
I'm so excited to be here with you.
I'm excited to be here, too. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tastes like freedom.
Oh, God, it's awesome. It feels so good. It's like the whole thing of, like, I was telling you before, like, being able to, now this is here, and it's set up.
Yeah.
So, like, I have 5 podcasts set up between now and, like, Thursday.
Oh, damn.
So I'm trying to get to 6 for this week. Excuse me. So that, like, I can basically get that ball rolling, like the YouTube and then the podcasting on Apple, which I didn't know was, like, a pretty, like, significant step thing. I'm having Stiggs on Thursday
wow.
at, like, noon. Because I was going to do his because he was like, hey, let's do one. And then, but he's been doing it for, like, a year and a half. And I'm like, do you need, like, some link to, like, an RSS feed, like, almost like a blog post thing?
Yeah.
So it's really kind of like, I don't know. It was way more. I thought it was just like click on iTunes, create an account, upload it, but it's like they need to approve it. They need to like go through the whole gamut. And same with like YouTube, I can put it up right away. Mm-hmm. But then you have to get so many hours of monetization, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, man. So pretty pumped, but
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
How you been?
Good. How you been?
I've been all right.
Yeah. What's Chuck's life been like lately?
I have high blood pressure.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Did you go to the doc or what?
Yeah, I went to the doctor for the first time in I want to say 10 years.
No shit.
Yeah, it was like before, like in high school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
And so Heidi's like, hey, before we get married, you have to go to the doctor.
Yeah.
And I was like, fine. And they're like, oh, it's like crazy high.
Really?
Apparently.
Do you feel it, or is it just like your blood pressure's just high?
It's just high. I think it's more as like a stress type one. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they were kind of did that with me while I was in like Kuwait, and then like this all other medical stuff happened. And I'm like, I don't know if it's, and then they're like, yeah, it might be. Do you have like anxiety? And I'm like, no, I don't have anxiety. He's like, well, you might have anxiety. I was like, the fuck, I do not have anxiety. And I was like, never, because he asked me, I'm like, no, I don't have anxiety. Like, cause I've never been, especially like with all the stuff I've done, like, especially in the National Guard, nothing gets me nervous or anything like anxious. And he's like, well, it might be your second nervous system or whatever the fuck it is. And I was like, all right, well, maybe you might be right. Like, but it's I still gotta actually go to the doc soon too and check some shit out as well. So
yeah, I have to eat more vegetables now. It's annoying.
Yeah,
it's like having to make the conscious choice too. It's like it's a whole another step.
Yeah.
A lot of smoothies.
Oh, okay.
Well, because like I want to spend time cooking vegetables. Like cooking in general is just a nuisance.
I know. I'm the same way, dude. I am the same. Like Amanda like wants to cook, and I'm like, no.
I don't mind.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind, but. When you dive too deep, though, it annoys me. It's like, all right, well, dinner's ready in an hour and a half. I'm like, what? Let's throw the micro. Let's do this, or something.
Yeah, I have to do a lot of smoothies now. Yeah. This is like, all right, and just throw in like half a bag of spinach with this fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, and that's a great way to go, by the way. Yeah. I mean, spinach is a super fruit. Do you do yogurt? You can do like yogurt.
I do a little bit of non-fat Greek yogurt. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I do too. I do that, and that helps with like.
I can tell if I have too much though, because then like the probiotics just like make me feel like super full for like an hour till I fart it all out. Mm-hmm. It's awful.
It's rough,
dude. It's not as rough as fucking Trump's weeks he's been having.
No, I know, right? Well, I don't know. They've been going back and forth.
Do you think he's gonna get impeached?
No, real talk. No. I take that back. Real talk. I think that from what I've understood is that he may be impeached by the Senate or the House.
The blue one's the House right now.
Okay, so then the House will impeach, but the thing is, it means nothing because they'll go to the Senate and get denied.
Yeah, McConnell doesn't let it die.
Yeah, so because they're like, no way, like, so you have to like, because it's all politics. Like I didn't realize that that impeachment isn't about legality. It's actually about just politics. So you could be like, everybody could be like, we fucking hate this one dude, and impeach him. He wouldn't have to do anything. Yeah. But obviously it's divided. That's why there's the two house or where they do it. But I don't know, man. Like I know Pelosi said that she didn't want, like last week. Even Amanda brought it up. She's like, Pelosi said she didn't want it like last week, and now but then obviously that was a week ago.
Well, I was like, because they're doing like the whole inquiry, which is just like the HR look into it thing. If someone goes to HR and goes, hey, I saw Todd doing a bunch of blow in the fucking bathroom, and they're like, oh wow, we should probably talk to Todd and see what's happening. Yeah. And then they have to investigate that. And people are like, this is a waste of taxpayer money. I'm like, I don't know, man. There's people saying he did a lot of illegal stuff. Yeah. We should have those 10 people look into it real quick.
Well, they're also, I noticed that they took people to the stand and they were like, well, I heard it from this person that were doing it, and then people were like, well, then why are you testifying? Where's the person that said it? Like, you are just saying hearsay at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like I said, they might vote to impeach, and they might impeach within the House. This is how shitty. I don't know. Like, it's the House or Senate.
I think it'll get as far as like maybe Clinton, where like even if he goes to trial, he will not be found guilty.
No. And well, the thing was, that was with Clinton, that he was fine until he lied under perjury, or what a perjury.
They tried him with perjury.
Perjury, and then he got impeached because,
which is why they won't put Donald Trump under.
They won't.
On testimony.
No, that's and everybody from the get go is like, do not let him, because he'll just go off on like a rant.
That happened during the Mueller thing. They're like, even his advisor, like, you can't do it. We can't promise he won't lie.
Yeah, or the fact that he just like starts saying shit, like you're like, or he's just like, well, maybe I did. I don't know. Maybe, and they'll be like, well, did you? Like, well, maybe I don't, and then you're like, so no one has a straight answer.
Dude, he's like, I can just tell from Twitter when he's having a bad week because he just goes off.
He does
the rails.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. It's like, well, it's funny, awesome, and shitty awesome, depending on what your view is. Because sometimes you watch, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
But I don't do Twitter. I know Nate does Twitter, and I don't do Twitter. I've never liked it because it was funny. I was talking to Travis last night, and I was like, I don't do Twitter. I do Instagram because I'm a visual person. I tried Twitter for like a day, and I was like, F this, I'm over it.
I like Twitter.
Just because I was like, I have to read? Fuck that. like even if it was only 140 characters, I was like, I'm not gonna read this. Like, I obviously Instagram's visual, so I'm like, oh, that looks cool. Like, what place is that? Like, oh, that's a travel, or that's a whatever. So that's just me. Like, but I know it's funny. Like, apparently there's just because I always see people post, like you post, or other people post really funny, hilarious tweets, that are like, obviously somebody found it and then reposted it. So I'm not gonna follow like a million accounts because it's like, those are one gems of one person, and then somehow someone found it, like, but those are hilarious, and those are.
What's
really
nice now is that the algorithm just kind of like helps take care of that for me.
Really?
So since I like and retweet somebody like those rare gems, so it's like just feed me just those at this point. It's like that, and like a lot of celebrities yelling about Trump is my Twitter feed. That and like that, and then like shoes and Magic the Gathering. Yeah, it's like that's my like alter ego on Twitter.
Shoes and Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, it's a weird combo.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna deny that.
Yeah. So actually, so what do you think of the new? I don't know if you've been tracking it. I went down the nerd rabbit hole for filmmakers. Yeah. So shift over to filmmaking. The Rise of the Skywalker stuff going on. Have you been tracking that at all?
Like the trailer and all that?
Well, but the Disney and the reshoots and the test screenings. So the test screenings have gone horrible, like horrendous. And they've ordered full reshoots and full endings.
The movie's out in a month.
I know, that's what I said. I was like, they're on a month. And apparently, like, Iger has stepped in, like the Disney head honcho is like, this is terrible. Like, whatever ending they've shot multiple endings, like and it's just wretched. I mean, like, people have like seen it, and they're like the reviewers and the sources, like, so people are coming out and the sources are like, this is not good, and like it'll make money because I will go see it because on principle, like, it's the last one. Yeah, it's the last one. Like, I have to go see it. So. But I'm reluctant to. Like when I saw, was it The Last Jet? No, not The Last Jet. It was the, what was the last one that just came out?
Oh, shit. Yeah, it's The Last Jedi.
Was it The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
No. Oh, Return of the Jedi was the...
Episode 6, yeah.
Was it The Last Jedi?
Yeah. Return of the Jedi, Force Awakens, Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Okay, so anyway, The Last Jedi... I remember we were like so amped, like, this is gonna be dope, like,
I really like that movie. I think it holds up.
I didn't like it at all. I tried just in my head. I'm like, oh, maybe, and I rewatched. I was like, God damn it! There were so many. I didn't like it at all. And then, but there's a few points I did love though. There was like a few spots, but like overall, and then Solo crashed. Lost money.
Solo's a great movie, though.
Yeah, Solo was good. Yeah, Solo was good, but it was the backlash of the Last Jedi.
Also, it was not marketed at all.
No, it was not. I remember that. Well, I don't know why they released it in May. They just didn't wait till December.
Yeah, that was weird
too. But I also knew that they fired. So the two guys that I've understand that they actually hired.
Yeah, they did Lego Movie.
Oh, was it Lego Movie?
Yeah.
But didn't they do the Spider-Man anime Into the Spider-Verse?
Yep, that too.
Yeah, so they fired them, which was the Lego Movie. They fired them. They made Into the Spider-Verse, won an Academy Award, And then so it was kind of weird because apparently there was a lot of controversy with that too, where like they were butting heads.
Because apparently they quit because of they were fired over creative differences.
Creative differences, yeah.
And they both said like we just saw a different movie out of this.
Yeah.
And then Ron Howard stepped in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah, exactly. It was really weird because they're like Ron Howard. I'm like, what? Is this? All right.
It's still a good movie. It's a heist movie.
It is,
which is sick.
Which I liked it. Yeah, I liked it. I was like, oh, this is pretty decent. But obviously the fallout from The Last Jedi affected it, and now you have the Rise of the Skywalker. And I don't know, man. I'm gonna go see it, but I'm real skeptical. Did you ever see the George Lucas react to the trailer?
No.
God, man. Yeah.
Is it funny?
I'm gonna have to when we start doing this, I'm gonna have to send you stuff. Be like, watch all this. We'll cover this because it's ridiculously funny, and it's like someone doing a face swap.
Oh,
so it's
sure.
a deep fake, and then they dress up like him. He's got the pudge stomach, and then they do the deep fake face, and the guy has the voice down on pat, and it's hilarious. He's just ripping the trailer apart, and it's actually done by a really prominent, not IGN, but something along those lines. It was actually not Collider. It was something. It was something really that was up there.
Did you ever see the video of the George Lucas thought he was about to be stopped for an interview, but it wasn't for him at all. He was just up at random passerby.
Really?
Yeah, it was some BBC thing to talk about thermonuclear technology, and he's just walking on the street.
Yeah.
And as the guy's walking with the camera, George Lucas is also just happens to be walking into frame and stops to be oh, he's gonna talk to me. He's oh nope, never mind.
Oh.
Dude, that's super funny.
Somewhat embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's how often do you start filming a TV segment for national television and all of a sudden it's George Lucas or some other celebrity walks on past?
Yeah, just that. Yeah. That's pretty wild, especially George Lucas of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stands out. That neck stands out.
Dude, that neck does stand out, does it not? And that's what they do in the video too. They make the neck, so it's yeah. And I want to say it's the same guy. He used to dress up like him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they I remember before the deepfakes. It was maybe 5-10 years ago. They would walk around. They would walk around dressed up as George Lucas around the conventions, and he would just say shit to everybody.
I love it.
Talk shit. It was pretty awesome. Have to dig those up. That's where we'll get the computer going.
Yeah.
That's what I said, feeling all this out. So
yeah.
So even that, I was thinking about running a laptop and check it out, pull it up, that type of stuff. But
you gotta get with Jamie.
Yeah, get with Jamie. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, man. So that was, anyways. I was thinking about that because I was oh man, the new, because it's coming out, and I'm I'll go see it. But again, I'm a little reluctant because I was I remember walking out of The Last Jedi and being that was cool, that, but it's and then I rewatched it. I was this is bad. But again, to each everybody's opinion.
Yeah.
But Force Awakens though, everybody shit on that one, and I'm
that was great.
I love. Yeah, I was hey, they played it safe. If they would just play it safe, you know what I mean? It's a billion. You're not gonna get real creative, and you're obviously gonna upset some fans, but it's on the aspect of dude, just. You play it safe, man. You know, you're gonna make $1 billion. Even if you don't appease both sides, you'll make money.
Yeah.
I know they're in somewhat panic mode, I guess, or something like that. But Mandalorian, though, I've heard is pretty good. I think
it's solid.
Have you
really
watch
good.
it?
Yeah. So there's only 2 episodes out so far out of 8. So it's gonna come out every Friday.
Oh, really?
6 weeks or whatever.
It's only 6 episodes.
8 total.
Oh, 8 total.
But 2 came out this week.
Okay.
Because 1 came out with launch, and then every Friday.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really solid.
It looks good.
Mm-hmm. Takes place right after the Empire falls.
Really?
Yeah, right after episode 6.
Oh, okay.
So so he's a bounty hunter, and he at one point they try and pay him in Imperial credits. He's Empire's not around. So that's not good money. Yeah. And it's it's just a throwaway line, but I never thought about the ramifications of overthrowing a government like that.
Yeah.
Of oh, now the money's worthless.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
It's kind of we said Nazi Germany, where the I don't know what the dollar amount, but they were basically everybody that was fleeing wanted jewels or diamonds or whatever, because it was what was that? I don't know what the Nazi currency, whatever it was worth nothing.
Yeah. That's how it was in after World War One.
Yeah, Schindler. Yeah, exactly. In World War One too, the German, same thing. German, whatever.
Printed money.
It was one.
That's how this works.
Yeah, it was 3,000 was worth 1 cent of it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I remember in Schindler's List they do that, where he's they're trying to give him money. He's your money's so fucking good, we don't want. It was a scene or something where some other people were we'll do this, and they're your money's no good. It doesn't matter. It's this place is going down. I want jewels or whatever the hell. I can't remember what scene it was. But Yeah, yeah, that's pretty cool though. Like I'm like, I do want to see that one. And if Favreau did, I mean,
he's producing and he wrote the first 4.
Okay, so he's not directing it.
No, he didn't. He didn't direct any of them. He's producing and then wrote the first.
Really?
4.
So
Yep.
I thought he was directing it.
They're all like a little bit more hands off on this one.
Okay.
Kind of like how Scorsese was attached to Joker for like a minute.
Was he really?
He was like attached to direct, then he was like, oh no, he's just producing.
Oh, okay.
And then like he kind of stepped back from producing and let his producing partner take over.
Oh,
so
okay.
he just didn't want to be attached to it.
Just didn't want to.
I think it was like just not be a part of it kind of thing. Didn't want to be. This is in case it was bad, which it's not. It's a good movie.
Yeah, isn't it supposed to like surpass $1 billion here soon?
I think so.
It's like it beat out all R-rated films. I think.
It's pretty good. It made me uncomfortable the entire time, but that's
Yeah.
what that's what Todd Phillips said he wanted to do. So
Yeah.
he did it.
Yeah.
It's just, oof.
Dude, I loved it. I was like blown away. Mostly like I'm obviously like I'm not an art house guy, but I love a good art house done well. Like in my eyes, and that was like what I think of as like the story was amazing, the acting was like amazing, the cinematography was amazing. Did you guys watch that YouTube video I sent you? The cinematographer.
I haven't watched it
Dude,
yet.
he's
no.
like super chill. I was like, oh, he reminds me of us. Like he's like, I went to school for economics. He's like this. He's like, yeah, this looks cool. And he was not like some like avant-garde. Italian, like French, Italian, British, like cinematography. He was like, yeah, man, like it look good. Like this is what we do. Is and he talked about The Hangover because that was his first one with Todd Phillips, and like breaks stuff down. And it's actually like he's like a super chill dude. He's
nice.
like, yeah, that's cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah. He's like it's like you could totally like relate to him. Like it's not like he's like these colors represent this sometimes, but that's it. Like there's no deeper meaning. Like sometimes and that's the tones we chose.
Yeah, I watched the Todd Phillips like Vanity Fair breakdown. Scene.
Yeah. And I think it's Vanity Fair that does the cinematography one too.
I think so too.
Yeah, they do both. Mm-hmm. And I watched that one too. The directing, that was actually really cool too. That was really cool.
I like watching all those a lot.
I'm surprised they're doing like that. It's the first time I've seen them like almost do like a YouTube, like they're almost like taking ideas from like YouTube filmmakers. Like, oh, this kid is doing this. Let's do that too.
They have to shift to this new digital medium of like video because like print is dying. Yeah. So this is what they have to do now. So they have to find ways to make it creative.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like, and it's cool too because that's why I love about us doing this now and like doing podcasts, but also like being able like you just shoot in your own room, but you can learn and teach other people, or you can be like, hey, I like this. Like I plan on I'll probably do it with you. Mm-hmm. Oh, Michael Bay cinematography breakdown. Oh, or so you bad. And Chris, and we'll just be like. Yeah, and like I want to do it like cinematography database and be like, here's the scene, and just circle like look at here, what's the angle, like forget everything else, like look at the makeup, look at just to like how do you build that? Because a lot of people try to replicate, but then like always falls short. Yeah. So you're kind of like, all right, well.
Yeah, I really want to do stuff like that.
Really absolutely, yeah. So I'll. Sorry, because this is obviously our low season coming up. So I'll make a list of dates and we'll just be like, do that. So
what kind of stuff do you really want to make?
It's gonna be more geared towards almost like film review, tech review, and then filmmaking will be more the YouTube channel with the podcasts. And obviously most of the podcasts will eventually skew into filmmaking. Mm-hmm. So, but I have it kind of placed and I also want to do the podcast because you think about, like the podcast medium, it doesn't always be visual. Like I'm doing the video, we'll do video, but it's also kind of like I'd like to make sure that the audio portion has a good a bit. So like I have it broken up into 3 different aspects. Oh, okay. So like this one will actually be called just the Nagelbear Podcast. Yep. And so on YouTube you'll see a thumbnail. It just says NB whatever Nagelbear Podcast. But like so when I have Greaves on, I don't know if we'll talk about film, if we'll like gear it towards film and regular stuff, or if we'll do veteran stuff. Because he actually has a guy that we're gonna bring on. Who he's a Pakistani citizen that was in Afghanistan, and he worked in the hospitals from like 2000. Yeah, the
scares the shit out of me every time.
The smell good thing, yeah. And like he was in Afghanistan from like 2008 to like 2015. So when we both were there. So anyway, like Pakistan borders Afghanistan. So like, so we'll have. He wants to like, and Greaves already asked him like, hey, you want to be on a podcast? Like my buddy's podcast. And so that one will actually be called like so I have like a little label. It'll be NBP, and it'll say 00 whatever number it is, but then underneath it'll say Warcast with whatever guest.
Sure.
So it'll be like Greaves and him.
Yeah.
And so that one will kind of tell the YouTube audience that it'll be more geared towards like combat or geopolitical within Afghan, a veteran podcast. We'll completely keep it onto that subject.
Yeah.
And then
that'll be easier for sponsors for sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of like
Black Rifle or whatever.
Yeah, like so those would sponsor that, but it's still everything will still have a number, so it won't be like then this week on film, do 3 different podcasts. It's all the same podcast, and then so when somebody listens to it on the audio, it'll be, like it'll say it too, like Nagel Blair podcast 004 Warcast with whatever, or Filmcast with whatever, or I'll just say Nagel Blair podcast 007 guest whatever. Right. So I'll try to categorize it, but it kind of gives it more of like a play into certain areas. So
sure.
Yeah, so that's kind of the podcast aspect of it, and it's just creating content, like it really is. Like honestly, this is. It's for me. It's like, I got to edit video. I got to do this. And it's like this makes it in my head mentally a little bit less exhausting.
Sure.
To be like, I can do 6 of these this week, and I can release 2 of them every week for the next 3, and then just keep building the library and just keep releasing them. I can maybe release them sooner once I get good enough at editing, punching them out, and the ball gets rolling, and then focus on like a film review. Either being that weirdo that like is in the like looking at the screen.
Well,
like,
let's take a look here at this movie.
Yeah. Like the film, and like and have a wide angle, whatever. Yeah. Or if I'm gonna like try to set it up, because like so we do like filmer, so me and you will do it. We might do it here. Or I've thought about doing reacts, so like filmmakers react to Hallmark films.
Oh,
so
dude,
and the other thing too is like learning.
Dude, I got 2 movies that would blow your fucking mind.
Oh, okay, so you then pick the scenes out, and then I'll line them up, and then we'll watch them out there, and we'll set the cameras up so we have more depth. You see the tree. We'll put up. So it's more like more themed.
Yeah.
We'll watch Hallmark holiday movies and just make fun of them for like 10, 15 minutes, and then that's a video.
A huge problem for one of them is I can't find it or buy it.
The what?
This one movie that I gotta tell you about.
Yeah.
Because it came out on direct to video.
Yeah.
In 80 something. I can't remember what it was. 88, 89 maybe. Nicolas Cage was big at the time.
Yeah.
And straight to DVD, and then while it was being printed straight to VHS, and while it was being printed on DVD, the company went out of business.
Really? Oh.
So it doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
It's called Never on Tuesday.
That's right.
It's about these fucking 2 dudes that like into a car accident with this lesbian named Tuesday.
Yep.
And they keep trying to bang her.
You were telling me about
and
that.
Apparently some zombies show up at some point, and like a bunch of cameo people come through, and like Nicolas Cage shows up with a giant fucking prosthetic nose.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys need any help? And then he's like, no, we're good. We're trying to bang this chick. And he's like, oh, 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 oh. And then leaves.
Yeah.
Like that's all he does.
Yeah.
It has that, Carrie Ells, Judd Nelson, like Breakfast Club fame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just after Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen.
That's wild.
All I have is like these random ass cameos, and I can't find it anywhere. I've only seen clips, and I need to find this.
You like IMDb it at all, or
I can't find the actual like full length movie.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Sometimes, it'd be
I have like an eBay notice, so if something pops up with that title, it notifies me, but nothing's happened yet.
That's awesome.
It only came out on VHS.
Yeah.
And so it's like a dead thing.
Yeah.
It's so wild. That dude's still working in the industry.
That's awesome.
It's wild.
There's hope.
Yeah, there's hope.
See, like that's the thing, just like that, like reacts to that, and like how they do like veterans react to military movies. Like I'll probably do 1 or 2 of those, but I'd rather be like filmmakers react to Hallmark holiday films.
You gotta react to like Max.
Oh yeah.
The German Shepherd with PTSD.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, yeah. Yep. Exactly.
They made a sequel to that movie. They got a second movie.
They got a second movie. Yeah. There's thank you for my thank you for your service.
That's the LaBeouf movie, isn't it?
No, that's not LaBeouf. It's the other guy, Miles Teller.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like we were somebody, because that's a joke we always say to each other, like thank you for your service. Thank you for TYFMS or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we'd always put that for like years. Like it was a joke, like thank you for your service. And it was a joke. And then it's like somebody was like, boys, they made a movie, and they posted the link when that movie came out. I was like, thank you for your service. And we're like, Jesus, like okay. Oof. I mean like whatever. Like at least like people are like, thank you, veterans.
Well, every artist always wants like, this is like, I saw this happening, and I had to make a movie.
There's another one called The Kill Team with Army Hammer, and it looks ridiculous. It's like Hellman. It's like totally like, this is family, boy. You better murder these civilians. Like that's like the vibe you get from the trailers. Like, you don't murder these people, you're not part of the family. And they're like, he's like, oh, go on the range, we'll shoot you. I'm like, okay, now we're talking about fratricide. Yeah, okay, like get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, and like I always feel like, granted, like things can go out of control, like they can by all means, but like the Vietnam era aspect, because everybody wants to be like, what happened to Vietnam? It was like, dude, we are so wired tight, and people's careers are so on the line, and like you could have a rough tour, and they'd be like, you didn't do so hot out there. I was like, I lost like 20 guys, and they'd be like, well, you weren't that good of a and like you'll fight for your career, and you were like in the hottest valley, and you're trying to like stay alive. So like, the whole thing behind that, it's just like, they're like, well, yeah, soldiers, they're so combat, they'll just go off and murder people. I'm like,
fucking murder. They assume like every single person in the military is like a sociopathic killer.
Yeah, like you're like, oh yeah, on a time we just like on a dime we just turn, and we're like, yeah, let's kill and rape some people. Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
It's Thursday. You know what that means.
You know what day it is? It's kill and rape time. Like, and so it's like. You always like, and they're like, what? Oh, like, and granted, I can see that, like, if people like, you're in these stressful situations, but like, it was like we always had a command. Like, you have to answer to people. So if something happens, it will get back to you. Like, it will always be like, yeah, why is this civilian saying like 3 people were just schwacked and no one gave they say they're killed by troops. You know what I mean? Like, if you like start just killing people in a village, that would get so fast to whatever command, and they'd be like, did you get, like, you didn't have an after action, bro? How'd you after? And then they separate everybody, and it becomes it's a whole thing. You know.
Why does every war movie have that one asshole that just like kills people for fun?
I know. Yeah, it's a
the more I think about it, they all have like a Sam Rockwell from Green Mile, where he's like, I fucking killed those kids and I loved it.
I know. They did that in what was it? It was 3 Billboards. Yeah. They randomly threw that in, like, they're like, my daughter was raped, and like and at the very, very end, it's like combat veterans who work for like a Blackwater type thing, and they bragged about raping people in Iraq, and then they raped a girl, and you're like, well, that was completely thrown. You know what I mean?
How
like,
convenient.
Yeah, how convenient. Like, well, those guys. And like all 3. That's the other thing too, is like they're like, oh, they did it as a squad. It'd be like one person. Like, it's not gonna fly that way. Like, someone's gonna be like, no. And be like, yeah, you're right. Let's not do that. Like,
that's why like cop movies don't work nowadays, because like there's so much like red tape and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Lethal Weapon doesn't happen today. That's why the reboot failed.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't like. People are like, no,
like some random Russian mafia. Like, he thinks I'm dead. Yeah. So we have an advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not how this works.
Not at all. Yeah. And it's so. Anyways, I saw that trailer for Kill Team. I'm like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, I can't believe but it's what it sells. Like, there was one with not Army Hammer. It was was it Army Hammer? It was it was Skarsgård. That's the one for Kill Team. I don't
know that one.
He is. Oh, he's in so much stuff. You would recognize his face right away. Anyways, but like Army Hammer was in a sniper one, Marine Corps sniper one. He steps on a mine. And like he's like hallucinating. He's like his foot's on the mine. He can't move it, otherwise he dies. And then like he's got a sniper. He's trying to survive out in like the desert. It's like, like, no, like he's like, oh, there's one other partner. I was like, we don't operate in 2-man sniper teams. Like, if you did the amount of research, and they're like, he's an Army sniper and he's wearing like Marine digital. So you're like, clearly whoever was like your
vaguely military.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I saw something on Call of Duty once. I think they'll do this.
Oh, you think we actually care?
Yeah. No. No, we're gonna be accurate. Absolutely not. No. Yeah, and that was the thing. It was like they were just like, I haven't even watched the movie, and it's you can already tell it was ridiculous. Like the way they just like oh yeah, so we lost the radio, 2-man sniper team. No one's checking in. I'm like, we had to check in every hour. If we didn't check in an hour, guess what happened? They launched QRF into our last known position, and there were 6 guys on our team. Like Afghanistan, when they were like there in Helmand. Like they had to go out in two sniper teams. They had to go out in 12-man sniper teams because the Taliban were so thick, and they didn't have enough guns. So they would get online and smoke like platoon-size elements, which is like 30 people of Taliban back in like 08, 09 when it was really heavy. And like so we were getting all these after actions from a Marine unit, and we were like, we need to go, blah blah. This was like before I deployed myself, and when my brother was there, And so we were, so like you're not like 2-man team, blah 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 blah. We'll sneak into the Taliban. That's gonna happen. Like we snuck into the Taliban camp and like slit the throat, grab the intel. Like
put mud on my faces and slit their fucking throats.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah. Or like
a fucking Batman.
Did you ever see Hard Times with Christian Bale? Or no, was it Hard Times or Harsh Times?
No, I don't think I saw that one.
Christian Bale, he's like a Ranger veteran from Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps talking about Afghanistan. He goes, "Oh yeah, I spent some time in Trash Afghanistan," and like, and then like he has this voice, and he's like good with like the Mexicans and like L.A. or something like that, and he's like real shady. He like keeps popping on piss tests, so he like puts like vinegar in his dick, and then like he's doing like drug deals, and he's trying to get into the DEA, like, and he's like real hood radish, like coming back out of the military. Yeah. So. And he dies in the end.
Of course. Kills himself because he deserves.
Actually, he was doing it was a robbery gone bad. He like gets shot. Like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, through like
Didn't
whatever.
Pull Bradley Cooper or something like that from Stars Born.
Is that what happened? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna see it.
He definitely kills himself at the end. He's like all depressed and some washed up ass, but he's like, "This is it for me." Really? Sorry, Lady Gaga. Yeah.
I heard he's hooking up with Gaga.
I heard about that, but I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I don't really care about celebrities.
No, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you.
Relationships.
Yeah.
It's always like, who really cares?
Yeah. You want to grab another beer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab one.
Keep talking.
What do I talk about? Shit. Now I'm spacing. Man, just a lot of bullshit in the world, man. It's all terrifying. And I gotta say, that's all I got. That's all I have to say about that, really.
Well, that was not as good. Get the
ASMR?
Yeah. This YouTube podcast is brought to you by Castle Danger Brewery Cream Ale and Corona.
Jesus fucking Christ. Did you ever see the...
That might be a bit much there.
Did you ever hear Chris's... Oh, Ridley,
it's like, down, Ridley. Down. Ridley. Yeah.
Ridley, please.
Ridley.
Respect my space. Did you ever see the Chris's joke for his like sponsor video for the sponsor of his first video?
No. Oh.
So he's like, "Oh no, word from our sponsor." And he just stares at the camera for a while.
Oh, was it the Wings one or was it the?
No, it's just the. Oh, he's doing like a tutorial thing.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he making his own videos now?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I didn't know he was doing that.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh,
well,
nice.
I'm trying to at least.
Yeah. What are you guys doing tutorials on?
He's doing build videos for like props and stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I'm doing like commentaries and just,
Nice.
like shitting on movies.
Yeah, that's what we're there for.
Yeah.
It was funny too, 'cause I was talking to my buddy Travis about it, and it's like
One who was running for Congress.
Yeah, one's for Congress. Yeah, we went to his fundraiser last night, so I'll be doing his ads or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like you'll see how it goes, but I was like, that's cool, man. So
Charge him a shitload of money.
what's that?
Just charge a shitload.
No, I already told him, I was like, I don't have to charge him. He's like, I have to pay you legally. He's like, if you do it for free, that's like they actually get involved and like it's like a whole thing. I was like, wow, okay. He's like, yeah, they get really anal.
Is he running for state Congress or U.S. Congress?
U.S. I believe. No, state. Well, it's state. Yeah, state Congress. Yeah, but he'll go to Washington if he gets elected.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want to go to the Minnesota Capitol
No,
Hill?
he'll be representative in the national over in D.C.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's hardcore.
So he'll be doing that if he obviously gets elected, or he's obviously running for that right now. But
How much that shit pays?
I know it's like $100,000, isn't
It's
it?
like $175,000 a year.
Is it really?
Plus, then you're unionized, so you get benefits for life.
Oh, that's right. I actually have
Serving
heard that.
one term.
So if you do one term for 2 years, you make
Yeah, and you get a pension depending on how much time you put in.
some ridiculous amount.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's.
I gotta get in on that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, like, let's run for Congress.
You could.
yeah. Be like,
Silver
"Hey."
Star recipient.
Yeah, right.
That's all you gotta be is like, I'm a veteran who wants to fight for this country more. I'm not done yet, America.
I'm here to fix everything. No, I'm. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny because we were talking. I was like, and it's funny too talking to everybody about this kind of like what we do. Like you're making videos, and same with me. Like people are like, "Oh, you do a podcast," and I was like, "Yep." And then it's like people are like, you talk about it, and then like I show them a picture. They're like, "Oh no, you're doing it." I'm like, "Yeah." Like I don't fuck around. Like and the people know me. I'm like, "We're doing this. We're doing it right." Or we're doing it going all in. Like, this is my life. So it's very funny to be like, they're like, her, like Amanda's friends, like, what are you doing? I'm like, starting a YouTube channel and a podcast. And they're like, oh, okay.
Right.
But
I'm
they also
about to quit my job to do this shit, man.
Dude, all you gotta do is start. It's like, to me, it's like monetization, but also getting the sponsors or like the downloads.
We gotta get the numbers first.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing about kind of like strategic. Like, obviously, this podcast is awesome just to kick it off and like totally talk about like the strategization of it, because so like a lot of it will be making YouTube videos so that we'll go on YouTube, but also kind of like how the JRE clips are, or like any other clips, like your mom's house
channel though too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's its own channel, but I'll keep it on mine as a single channel because I don't have enough viewers, you know. But if we do like this, if we do an hour of this, right? And so right now I can cut it up into like The Last Jedi. What we talk about The Last Jedi for what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
So now
and you can even put on like veteran talks about just for those clicks.
Exactly. Yep.
Veterans' opinion.
Don't
on The
think
Last
I'm
Jedi.
not exactly. Well, I was thinking, or filmmakers, or
You
like
fought for the country. You've released that, not just the discounted McDonald's.
veterans think about The Last Jedi or The Rise of the Skywalker.
People will click on it, dude. That's some fucking that's some clickbait shit right
No,
there.
it is. Well, that's the thing is I went down that rabbit hole, and so I was kind of thinking like when you're strategizing about stuff, what we talk about, like, so we'll talk about recent events, and then but what you do is just like the other ones, like obviously we're not going to get on a grand scale of like we're getting 100,000 views for the clips, but like the clips themselves, they don't know my podcast, whether they want to watch us talk for an hour, but you can specifically see a subject. So my goal is to make 3 videos per podcast out of the one whole. So technically every video will have, or every podcast will have 4 videos attached to it. The whole one, and then 3 segments.
Sure.
So therefore now 6 turns into 28 clips.
Yeah, my dad watches like exclusively Joe Rogan clips. Doesn't actually watch the full podcast.
Same. I won't even watch full podcasts, but I'll watch clips because they catch my eye, and I'm like, part of me is like, I don't want to have 3 hours to invest because I want to do some other stuff. But I'll listen to the 19 minutes.
He's got some good. He's had some good guests on lately. And like, I'm not like.
Yeah. Oh no.
I'm usually pretty critical of Joe Rogan because like half the time I'm like, all right, shut the fuck up. But like, he's had some good people. Like he had like the guy doing like the fentanyl.
Yeah, listen, he's from Minnesota.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
He had Malcolm Gladwell on, which is really cool.
Yep, that was cool.
Like he's had some really good people on.
He's got I was talking to a guy right now, the guy he's talking to right now, like today he released, is a journalist, and they're talking about the state of journalism. Yeah, and it's actually really good. Like they're talking about like both sides, and he's like He's like basically journalism is kind of in a crisis because it's all. The way it makes money is the clickbaity type stuff. Yeah. But then it's like he's like as you know, he goes, people want unbiased news or whatever. He's like, the way they get it is through podcasts or through other YouTube essentially, or through, because they're sick of the major networks. So he kind of more touches on the major networks and the major newspapers. Because he's worked in the business for like God knows how long, and he's like, he wrote a book about it. Yeah. The name even sounds familiar too, and I can't remember the name. Yeah. But yeah, so, and that's something I've kind of watched strategically on how I want to. So I don't just want to do the video and then, or a podcast and just like, oh, here it is, set it out. It's more of like strategically make sure the keywords are right, covering subjects per podcast that will resonate in that time. So like, obviously we talked about Rise of the Skywalker trailer. So like, I more of like want to make sure I have a list of like, what's going on currently today, we talk about it and then punch it out over the next week because it's still fresh. Sure. And like entertainment's like that. Like, you know, we could talk about Terminator Dark Fate and where that tanked at the box office, right? Of course. Like a week ago, we could have made.
We knew it was going to.
Yeah, and you knew it was. Like, I remember, and not even from what's actually it's about, but like, you can almost always tell from the trailer. Like, the trailers give away so much. Like, I watched the first trailer, and they're like, hey, this is great. I was like, oh, this will be cool. New Terminator. Yeah. I watched the first trailer like 8 months ago when I was in Kuwait, and I'm like, that is garbage. Like, or whoever cut your trailer needs to be fired and hire someone new. But then the trailers never got better, and you're like, this means that someone doesn't have something to work with or something. I don't know.
I saw someone on Twitter talking about it, and they're kind of like, what'd they say? Oh, it's like, every trailer I see from this movie, I think to myself, James Cameron could have done it better.
Oh yeah, and but what James Cameron did, he didn't want to touch it. Yeah. Like when the director is like, "I'm producing," I'm like, "No, no." It's like what the new Bad Boys 3. Michael Bay stepped away.
Yeah, same with that one too.
Seen the trailer, looks a little rough. You know, like looks a little.
That's because like these people, like these, like. Auteurs, I guess, is like the douchiest way to phrase that. But like when you got like James Cameron, Michael Bay, Spielberg, like these champions of the blockbuster in their own rights, like they cannot be duplicated or recreated. No, that's just how it is.
No, exactly.
Ridley Scott's another one like that too. Like all the non-alien ones that he's made are pretty trash. Even the ones that he made.
Oh, I liked Alien Covenant. Prometheus, I'm like more of a fanboy of because it's in the universe.
Yeah.
But
Covenant's pretty good.
I'm very critical of Prometheus, but
Yeah.
I like it because it's in the universe and it's a style. Alien Covenant was more in the direction that I wanted.
Yeah, it's kind of like OG.
Yeah. It's like it's
terrifying horror.
Yeah, and I nerd out because Alien Covenant basically was supposed to be what Prometheus was supposed to be. So like Alien Covenant, like if you like I have the DVD like Blu-ray DVD in the full first half of pre-production.
Yeah.
They talk about how basically Prometheus was a whole different film. Fox panicked. They pulled the plug on the script, had rewrote it. Like they were about to start shooting,
Yeah.
and then they made Prometheus, and then everybody was like, "What the?" And so, but then the Alien Covenant comes out, and if you listen to the documentary, basically Alien Covenant is basically what Prometheus should have been, and that's basically like so. Fox was like, "Okay, well we're good, let's make this now," And so then I still didn't like where it went as a film, but I loved it more because of the lore.
Yeah.
It dove a little deeper, Yeah, but that's just me as a fanboy.
I think a huge problem nowadays is that just like a lot of film houses just don't have good producers who fully get what the people are trying to do.
Yeah.
So like a good example is that if you look at comic book movies, because there's just so many of them. But like if you look at Marvel, like a lot of them shine as pretty good films overall.
Yeah, overall.
From good to great.
Well, they know what they are though too. You're entertaining people with a good story.
Yeah, but when you have when you get good directors with a good script and like a good producer, like you get like Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
It's no longer a superhero movie, it's now like a political thriller.
Yeah.
And so you can like just elevate it
Is
like
that one
next
running?
level. It should be.
Okay. Oh, it is. Sorry. Yep.
You're good.
Yep. I was like,
But like so you can elevate it like that and like but then you even look at like Warner Brothers with Batman Superman.
yeah.
Without a good producer, you just get like a director running loose.
Oh,
and you
God,
get Zack Snyder doing
Just
whatever
do
he
whatever
wants.
he wants. Yeah.
And you get a 4.5 hour movie from the director's cut.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
But people are like, we love it, but it's like you can't do 4.5 hour movie in the theater. Like like it's
you
like
can, but like it's just like the fact that like you had to do a director's cut to have the movie make sense
yeah.
says a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there should be director's cuts. I think the director's cut should be the cut that you see.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah. But also the director had different vision than what the producers want. At the so, and that's what the cut that eventually makes the floor is
so there's,
producer or the studio. Yeah.
And so like there's a lot of trust that happens with it, but like A24 is a production house in general.
Yeah.
Makes great movies.
Yeah, they do.
Like,
They're kind of the powerhouse right now.
They let their directors do their thing.
Yeah.
They all make pretty low budget and they all make pretty good money.
Yeah, people are saying like A24. I was listening to another podcast for distributing like your feature film. If you ever, I can't remember. I gotta give it to you. It's pretty good actually.
Sure.
But like they dive into a lot of just distribution talk, and it's great. It's boring, but it sometimes gets real interesting because it's the business aspect of filmmaking.
Yeah.
And which no one talks about.
Never.
And I've learned in the last 6 months more about the business side through that podcast than ever in films because we never talk about it. Filmmakers never talk about the business side, and like that's why like. It's cool hanging out with you guys or doing whatever because we have to think about the business side. You have to think about the logical side.
Yeah.
Like we are trying to make money through this, trying to make money on YouTube. We also need to figure out how we make feature films, but also not only make them good, and then distribute them.
Yeah.
How do they get picked up? How do we get people to view it? How do you know what I mean? And it's a good podcast to talk. Like they're talking about, A24 is a big one because A24 only picks up really good indie films, but they also produce really good indie films at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like they're pretty solid right now.
They put out a lot too.
Yeah,
they do. They make a lot of movies, and they're definitely making the most money because again they can move for $2 million. They don't make 15, 20.
Yeah, Blumhouse is the same way. Blumhouse is making a ton of money.
Mostly like horror oriented, right?
They are, yeah. But the thing is, they do that. They have that model of give a good filmmaker $5 million, let them run with it, market it for $5 million, attach good people to it.
You'll make 35,
and 35, 40. You make your money,
and
you make the next one and the next one. They have like 4 of those. I mean, or 5, 6, maybe more.
Yeah,
but
this is like their big season right now. It just ended. So
yeah. And so now you're clearing, liquid for that production company, like what 200 million liquid.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, then you can now keep making money. Like Disney. Granted, Disney has its own thing going.
Disney has the spend a lot of money, make a lot of money.
Yeah, but they can also spend a lot of money in tank. But they also have branding, which somebody brought up. Branding is
huge part of it.
Huge part of it. Fox just went under. They bought Fox. Yeah. Fox went under. It's done. That was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Like Warner Brothers, don't know their state that because they don't have branding.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a Disney
Not
store.
anymore,
Like
yeah.
Disney has a whole nother like kids section. Warner Brothers doesn't. So Warner Brothers is strictly film. No one's gonna buy their streaming service because nobody gives a shit about Warner Brothers streaming.
No.
You know what I mean? They'll have to sell their catalog to Netflix. Disney's big enough now because they bought Fox. Now they have Fox.
Yeah.
Now they have Die Hard, homie. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like
And
real
X-Men.
salty if they're gonna be like the only way to watch this is. And they've already talked like, granted it's a business move, but they've already talked about like not even creating DVDs or whatever and just locking a bunch of films up. So you have to watch them on streaming. They won't even be able to buy.
Yeah, I believe it, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're gonna
honestly,
vault them.
it seems like where it's going most of the time is just the streaming model because like it's never been easier to watch stuff.
Yeah.
Like you're always burdened with the excess of choice. Like everyone's like, oh, like they have like 5 favorite shows on Netflix.
Yeah.
Made by Netflix for Netflix.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the whole system is just mind blowing right now. Like we're in like the golden age of content creation.
Yeah. Well, it's like the other thing too is like talking about stuff was like guys will be like, yeah, well, YouTube is oversaturated. They said that like 5-6 years ago. They said that I'm sure back when we were in film school, started in 14. They're like it's oversaturated. I'm sure somebody told them 3 years before that it's oversaturated. So like, and that's the other thing too is diving in. Like it's a bit scary, but you just have to dive in. I mean, like you watch some people like do tutorials. They don't even show their feature film work. They're like, we're filmmakers, and you're like, I don't see your work out there, but now they have 1 million followers. Now they've been at it. Like Peter McKenna's a big one, but I think he's an outlier. But he gained from 17 to 19. He started in 17. 19, he's got 3 million followers. Granted, Film Right's been around 10 years. I think, and now they have like 1.2. So whatever works, but still though, I think there's room. I find people all the time. I was like, I was talking to Travis. He was like, there's a guy that just talks about Jurassic Park film theory. He just talks. He has like a 5-minute video. He's like, well, and like he gets like he has like 700,000 followers or subscribers.
Yeah,
that's all he does. Same with like Alien. I've gone down like the Alien. There's literally called the Alien Theory. He releases like a video once a week about the comic books in the movies.
Sure.
Like a 10-minute video, and he's got like over 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's monetized. You're making money, and not maybe a lot, but you're making. He's like getting 100,000 views.
When you're just a guy at a computer, it's a lot easier to make money.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. And that's kind of like the nice thing here is like the studio's here, computer.
Yeah.
Now it's all about how much are you willing to content create and do whatever.
Yeah.
Like, like you kind of gotta, I don't want to say swallow your pride or be like, not, because I feel weird. Like, it's like, I want you to hear my opinion. But it's also the same point. It's like, you know what? Whatever. Like, it's, you gotta go for it. Like, I want to do $100 million film. So at one point I have to be egotistical and be like, yeah, I can handle this. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. I mean, it's awesome though. At the same time, it's awesome. I think it's great. I think it's way better. I think it's like what people said back in the 70s. I'm sure when they like the 16 millimeter running guns came out, and
it's kind of crazy. The more I like listen to more videos and like how to like make it in the industry and like be like a worker in the industry or whatever. Like maybe you won't be Michael Bay or Spielberg, but like you'll make a good living directing whatever commercials, whatever. You'll be happy. I think I'm learning it's easier to do that than it is to make it on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah. Well, because like with the filmmaking world, there's a direct correlation of hard work equals like good work, which equals good resume.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which gets you good, better jobs.
Makes sense.
There's a direct correlation to how much you put in, you definitely will get out.
Yeah.
With YouTube is you'll definitely, whatever you put in, you might get out, and you might get even luckier than that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like kind of what it seems to be.
So you're saying the YouTube,
yeah,
what you put in, you're going to get something out of it.
If you look at the numbers of like how much videos get uploaded a minute, I think it's like 200 hours a minute get uploaded to YouTube.
Oh, I'm sure.
Every minute.
Yeah.
So it's like you just get so lost in the ether so fast.
Yeah.
That like I just don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly think it's easier to make it in the industry than it is to make it on YouTube.
I think yes and no. I agree with you to some extent. But I also think that what is making it though too, what if I think on YouTube, I think you're going to make money faster and more, possibly much more, what do you call it? Wow, I'm totally blanking on this. Basically, more consistent.
Sure.
I think you're gonna make money more consistent on YouTube than you would, or maybe not. I mean, I think paychecks are bigger if you obviously making holidays, big paychecks, but that can go out right away.
Yeah.
YouTube with the following, and if you have 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, a million plus, you get 20, 30,000 views. I don't know what the correlation, because I've seen a lot of videos on how much, like some people get like 20 grand a video, and then some people get like five, you know, it's all over the place. But at the same time, even if you have a Patreon, and like what people say, you have 1 million subscribers, you have 10,000 people on Patreon paying you $1, you making 10 grand a month. I mean, that's astronomical. Like they don't make that an actor acting in a B actor acting in TV shows like multiple times a month does not make 10 grand a month.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what is making it. Now, granted, my face isn't on TV consistently, but the horror stories of also those people.
Yeah.
I mean, they will be like, oh my God, it was the biggest break of my life. And you're like, oh yeah, that guy, he was on like 7 seasons. That's over, and now he's broke again, or he's trying to struggle, or he's struggling.
Dude,
you know,
if you get a lead on a TV show nowadays, it's big money.
Yes and no. Again,
it's like
yes and no.
No, like leads are like 40 grand an episode now.
Oh yeah, I'm saying that, but I'm saying it's like, what is after taxes though? What is after that? How much is the cost of living in California?
You think they pay taxes?
Oh yeah.
Come on, when you're that rich.
Oh,
you got a guy who gets.
Oh God, yeah. That's like the worst class to be in.
Yeah.
If you're getting paid 40 grand, that's almost the worst case. If you're
like 40 grand at 22 episode season, 40 grand an episode.
Yeah, you are getting bent over.
Really?
And then on top of that, you're not Bob Iger at the head of Disney, where you can manipulate the system.
Yeah.
Like I think like it's like when you are like 500 to like say 500 grand to like 2, 3, 4 million a year, you are getting raked over the coals because that's that middle ground almost where they will hammer you, and California hammers people.
That's true.
And California will get its money.
Hammer you with the poop on the street.
Oh, dude, and that I mean, even cost of living, even if it's not taxes, it's
so
cost
expensive.
of living.
Yeah,
it's cost of living. That's like, and it's funny too because I watched a video on this, and some guys were like, yeah, people want to make an industry, they never made it out to California. Or they're like, you know, if I could have, whatever. And I was kind of listening to it, I was like, yeah, some people are like that, like say like, yeah, I'm. You know, I could have done it if I moved out to California. But part of me, like, I've never said that in my life. Like, even when I was in high school, I was like, I will never move to California. I was like, I know it's going to be way harder and way a pipe dream to be like, I'm going to direct a $100 million film and never enter California. Maybe that was true 10 years ago, 15, but I think now you can.
Now you can go to Atlanta.
Now you go to Atlanta, or you go somewhere else, or you just satellite in. Be like, and like Starberry. What is he's like, he fucking hates Hollywood. He's talked to us about it, and then he just flies in all the time. He just gets miles, and he makes money. But
did you watch the episode he wrote for When They See Us?
When They See Us. Yeah, I watched, I think maybe half of it. I don't know if I watched the whole thing. I watched the first episode was amazing.
So he got nominated for the Emmy for episode 7 or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, was it 7? Okay, I don't know if I didn't watch it all the way through.
He only co-wrote one of the episodes, but like...
It came out when I was in Kuwait, and I watched like the first 1 or 2 episodes, and it was really good.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
Well, like, it just makes me so angry.
Yeah, it does. And I remember like watching it, and you're like, "What the fuck?" But we just like it was one of those things where we were watching a ton of shows, so I was like, "Oh, Starberry, like I know him," you know. And so I watched the first episodes, and then after that, it was like we're on to something else or whatever.
I think he's working on something else with Ava now too, which is crazy.
Well, he sold that one script to like Universal or something like that, like when we were in film school.
I remember hearing about that. What was it? The weird like
it was like Indiana Jones mixed with sci-fi, mixed with some other stuff.
Yeah, like Ares, whatever it's called, like Project Ares.
Yeah,
Project.
Like yeah. Well, who cares? He made money, walked away.
There was a big payday, yeah.
Yeah, big payday for him. Probably never get made, but whatever. He made the money and walked away. Still working.
God, that'd be nice.
That'd be awesome. Just like sell an idea.
Yeah.
Just sell the idea.
I wonder how many like fucking scripts that dude has like just sitting in his drawer for like just like are just trash. Yeah. Like, these are not getting sent out.
Oh, by the way, we got to meet up with Jeremy and Adam.
Jerry Bear?
Yeah, because the other thing too is like he has those scripts.
Well, Jeremy's running the Metro State Film Department now.
The whole of the film department?
Yeah, he's got not MCTC, Metro State.
No, Metro State though. Is he running the whole film department?
Yeah, pretty much.
I know he was doing the screenwriters.
I think he's like running it now. That's what Chris was telling me because he can get access to the theater.
No shit.
We can do screenings and stuff.
No, that's pretty cool. No, and that's the thing is too is like I was thinking about that too, of like making my first feature or us working on a feature.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to write a script to do it, but part of me is like, I just want to take somebody's script and do it. Like, you know, like one of Jeremy's scripts would be like, let's do this one. Let's just do it. And like, whether it be good or not, I just read through a few scripts and be like, I like this one. Let's do this one.
Yeah.
And go.
It'd be fun.
Yeah. And just go. and just cut your teeth on it.
Well, you gotta help us make these Z-Fest movies, man. We're filming here in the next couple of weeks.
Are you? When?
Yeah.
I know Stiggs asked me to help him. I said yes.
So I'm doing first weekend of December.
Okay, I can, because I'm doing theirs the first week of January.
Okay, yeah.
He asked me, and I'm like, sure. And then
so
we'll definitely help you out.
So me, Rudy, and Chris are each making one. And we're getting like a trio team working out here.
Okay.
That's why I'm meeting with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
So Rudy's is filming the week of Thanksgiving, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, I think, like evenings.
Oh, I'm going to be gone. I'm in California.
All right.
Sweet California.
What?
My brother's out there.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll be out
Thanksgiving,
there.
That makes sense.
Yep.
But, yeah, so then we're trying to figure out where Chris is going to film his, because he wanted to film his like 3 weeks ago before it got too cold.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had that cold snap.
Yeah.
So we're working on that. But,
nice.
Yeah, dude, you should definitely hop on mine, because I'll send you the script, because I think it's a lot of fun.
When are you going to try to shoot? First week of December?
Yeah, first weekend of December. It's like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You might have drill.
I think I have drill. 7/8?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I got drill. Damn. Shit. All right. Well, I could hop on at night. Or when are you guys shooting? Is it just during the day?
I think it's going to be during the day. I'm filming in the basement of the Grain Belt building.
Oh. What? Oh,
Yeah.
nice. All right.
It's cheap, dude.
Yeah, Grain Belt building.
The brewery?
Yeah, I know. Oh, okay, yeah, Northeast. I was like, I know the other
Filming
Schmitz
like
one because we've shot there.
Like the lower warehouse, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good space, I guess. So
yeah.
Chris showed it to me, and I was like, oh, yeah, we're filming there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like, I just want to start making stuff.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't made stuff for too long.
I know, me too, man. I'm fiending. I'm jonesing.
Yeah.
And that's why I like putting the podcast and the video. Like, I'm so stoked to be doing this with you right now.
Yeah, dude.
Because I'm like, it's all about content creation, but it's also just creating something. Like, you have to. Like, I don't care what it is. Like, I created thumbnails for my YouTube channel. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, I was just like, it's like small steps.
This is the greatest day of my
life. I know. It was kind of like, because for the last few weeks, like the last 2-3 weeks, I finally got approved for my loan, which wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Like, it basically came right back around to like, I could have done this like 2 months ago with my, like, because it ended up being a personal loan. And the equipment loan I've already paid for the equipment, but then I gave them the serial numbers, and now they're going to give me the equipment loan interest rate, which is totally cool. So I'll have 2 loans out, which is great because I can pay one off, and then like it cuts my loan stuff in half. So it's not like I pay one thing off and I still have the same loan amount I got to pay. So I'm pretty happy about that.
That's nice.
But buying this equipment and getting all sorted, like said, it took me a week and a half, almost 2 weeks to get the Ursa up and running because it was like the Ursa showed up, the lenses, the batteries didn't show up for like 4 days, and then the mount didn't show up because it was back ordered. So now the mount finally showed up, and then it was like cool. As of like yesterday, it finally yesterday. So Friday is when I finally got the V mount.
My God.
Yeah. So now it's ready to rock and roll. So
finally,
yeah. But then lights now. So the lights are back. So that's my last big purchases. Well, I got purchased my laptop, but I had to return it and now I'll get a new one, a different one. But the 2 lights are the last big one, and then I have like some fun money. I shouldn't say funny money, but there's like a little bit of funds there to be like, okay, like I bought a C-stand. I kind of like, I spent more on this, but I also compensated because I thought I was going to buy something else and I didn't. So this is kind of like absorbed, but also it's kind of like, this is obviously going to be a big part right now. Like I bought that camera to, be like, all right, I can, no matter what, like I don't have to beg, borrow, steal. Yeah. Obviously we'll work on stuff together. So like you have my 3 lights, we can do what, like the fact that we don't have to rent anything.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, like
I'm pretty stoked on that.
$800 on those fucking CFast cards. We do, but we can shoot 3.1, 4.6. Like there's no doubt about it. These things will work.
What size are those CFast cards?
256.
Oh damn! So it's like 5 minutes.
Well, 11.
So useful.
We are literally working in film aspect now. Like we got 11 minutes of film. But even then though, that's 3.1, 4.6K. 60 frames. I think at 24 frames, I think it's like 20 minutes. But then again, though, if you're doing filmmaking, your takes are what? 20, 30 seconds long.
Dude, I was learning this about some of the old 80s movies, like a lot of the straight to VHS ones back in the day. Like, just cut money, because they're all shot on film, because that's all they had to film with.
Yep.
They would film with, like, just the leftovers of negatives.
Yep.
So it'd be like, oh, okay, we have an extra, like, 50 feet here, so here you go. Here's a 2-minute reel. And that's what you get before you have to change mags again. And then they went on to buy it.
No, I know. Yeah.
Production house would be like, all right, here you go.
Yeah. But I also feel like there's also like back then film was cheaper. I think because it goes more en masse slightly. Maybe not as cheap as we think. But like, dude, I'm still on board with that. I was like, fuck film. Like as soon as we started shooting on film in film school, I'm like, F this shit, man. Like, no fucking way. Yeah. And it's like, I always say it, I was like, I'm so glad I went to film school when I did. Because if I would have went back in 2005, I would have had it. It would have been nightmarish.
Yeah.
Like, because the way I shot, even back then, like in high school when I shot all my little short films, it was like run and gun, got the angles. I was like, this would be great. And then it's like, to be like, halt. You only have this much. By the way, every time you do this, it's going to cost you money. So you can't even buy gear. Like, I can buy this gear. We don't have to pay it for a fucking dime.
Yeah.
What is it? The worst we'd have to buy is a hard drive for $300.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it. That's our costs for a film. If everybody wanted to do everything for free, which everybody does already, we show up with lights. There's no rental. There's nothing. But we pay $300 for a fucking hard drive, and you can make a feature film. You can't do that on film. You can't. Not today. You want to shoot 16 mil? If everybody thinks for free, it still costs you like $20 grand. I actually ran the numbers at one point.
Yeah.
Just for fun one time. I looked up the cost for 16 millimeter film and like the 3-to-1 ratio of shooting and everything.
Yeah.
It was going to cost like 15,000 minimum to process, digitize.
Jesus. I mean, it's just so crazy that it's gotten that expensive. Because, I mean, there's this is like the market demands it.
Well, nobody wants it. Yeah, exactly. So the market doesn't demand it. So now it's going to cost more. And like, but part of me still wants to shoot something on film. Like, I'd love to get a hold of a really good. There's the 416 that they shoot everything on. It's the 16 millimeter. It's not the SR3, but it's the RE 416.
Sure.
High speed. There was at one point I saw it on eBay for like 12 grand.
That's pretty cheap.
Well, no, they've gone back in value now.
Yeah.
So they dropped drastically. There was a moment there where it was you could buy one for like 12 grand, and now they're shooting back up to like 30,000.
Damn.
Because it's kind of like it's a niche now. So people are like, oh, you're willing to pay me for 16 millimeter on film. So it's kind of like the value went back up. Now you can't find them. But there was like when I was looking when we were in film school and out of film school, I was looking at old SR3s and 416s kept coming up, and people were selling them.
Yeah.
And they were like they went out.
Yeah, I think the time I would really want to use film would be if I did a period piece of some form.
Yeah.
Like if I shot like an 80s movie, I would really like to try and shoot it on 35 film stock. Yeah. And use and try and find like some 80s anamorphics and stuff like that.
I think some of the issues with that, I think LED lighting would fix a lot of the issues with shooting on film, because I think LEDs are so bright and they don't take up the amperage, and that it takes a lot of light to light film, that I think now that it might be easier to run and gun slightly to be like, oh, we don't have to rent a generator, and we don't have to make sure the light doesn't start the fucking house on fire, to like punch through. You can have a few 300Ds and be like, or whatever rounds RE LEDs, and be like, oh yeah, we're good. We're cool. Just set it here. We'll light it. We're good.
Yeah, I'd agree to that.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit more of like ease because the lighting is much better now.
I think film grain is hard to replicate, and then also it helps sell a period.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
So like I just really think like that, like how like they did like the Joker titles.
Yeah.
They did that like they did the old school way, like they filmed like on animation background and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So like stuff like that is just like really helps sell a period very well.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like I do hate film, but I would like at one point say everything is like my fantasy. If everything takes off this, or at least I make enough money off the YouTube channel or anything else, to actually do a side-by-side comparison. Rent 35 millimeter and like 20 minutes of film stock, and just be like, this is how you load it, this is how you shoot with it, and just literally like go somewhere and have a side-by-side of like Ursa Mini 500 ISO, film stock 500 ISO, go. Yeah. And just be like, how do we light? Can we just eyeball it? You know what I mean? Like look through it. Fuck it, eyeball it. Cool, looks good. Or just do the video. Be like, how off is it from the video assist to the the actual film stock itself. Or, like, okay, cool, it was too dark. Oh, that was out of focus. Or that didn't work. Like how accurate can you get it? Because that was crazy. You look at like 80s films, and Adam told us this. He was like, you'll never look at films the same again.
Yeah.
And they don't. I've looked at focus pulls on like the Predator. I watched the Predator like maybe a year ago or maybe 2 years. I was like, oh, I'll take it. Dude, there is shots out of focus. They are full blown out of focus. And they're like, oh, this is good. And like in your head, when I was a kid watching it on like TV, you're like, whatever. But like you watch it on Blu-ray, you're like, motherfucker did not hit his mark. Like it was like bad. And you're like, are they gonna focus? No, that's just shot cut. Yeah, there I was out of focus. I
would like see like the dollies and like the push-ins and stuff like that, and, like how shaky.
Yeah, how shaky it is. Yeah, you're like, Jesus Christ. Like okay, like yeah.
Michael J. Fox rocking the camera.
I said that. Was I with you when I said something like that?
I think so.
Yeah.
I say stuff like that all the time. It pisses off Heidi.
Yeah.
I made an Auschwitz joke our first date.
Yeah.
It's like the first thing I said.
And now you guys are getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did not wise up.
Does she laugh a little bit inside though?
She laughed out when I said, "Sorry, was that too soon?"
Yeah.
Like as a reference to Auschwitz being too soon. Not me saying it too soon in our relationship.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's I'm just an awful person who says awful things a lot.
Yeah, but it's hilarious though. And you're not awful. You're an amazing person that makes hilarious jokes. See, Amanda's like she says that stuff. She's like she laughs at shit that she knows she wouldn't laugh at in front of, like with me. She's like, "Oh, that's fucked up." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why we're married." Like she looks at me like, "Are you mad?" I'm like, "No, are you kidding me? That's hilarious." Like I would take it way further. And she's like, "Oh, okay," like so she'll like, yeah, it's pretty funny. Yeah.
God, there's a video I saw that made me think of you the other day. It was I don't know why it did, but it was that news reporter that got fired when he was talking about the missing girl. It's like, he shot his huck. Fuck. I'd fuck the shit out of her. You wouldn't fuck her?
What was that?
Dude, it was like...
Oh, I missed that. I completely missed that.
10 years ago, I think it was. It was like... But he just went viral again recently. But it's like, basically, like, there's a missing girl. And they're like, oh, we cut to, like, James on the scene or whatever. And, like, he doesn't know he's live yet. And he's like, she's hot as fuck. I'd fuck the shit out of her. Tell me you wouldn't fuck her? Yeah, that's what I do when I find her. I'll fuck the shit out of her.
Oh, my God.
And it cuts back to, he's like, I am so sorry.
Oh, that's so shitty.
Dude, it was bad.
Oh, my God. Oh.
It made me think of you.
Oh, dude. That's something I would say, too, yeah. Oh, my God. That's, yeah. That's awesome. Only because it's like, yeah, that's something like, because everybody says that off camera.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just me. It's a ton of people, like, clearly, you know what I mean? Like, what people say off camera all the time, like, to make a joke or whatever, you know, but as soon as somebody captures it and, like, throws up, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's like, come on, man. You're trying to make, like, 6 people laugh in that little booth, you know? Like, there's people say fucked up shit all the time.
I say awful things all the time.
Yeah, I think it's hilarious. It just makes whatever. It just makes things like life where, like, I don't know. It spices stuff up, but yeah. But anyway, so but it was shooting on the film stock though. Like, it was like, that's what we're talking about. Yeah. So, but I think it would be awesome. Like, if I ever make enough money to rent and buy film and to process and everything, it would be totally cool to run through that aspect. I would never shoot anything on my own dime on film. Yeah. Like a feature or a short or never, ever. But unless somebody paid me, be like, hey, we're throwing you this amount of money. We like shooting film. Like, okay. You know, it was like when Star Wars, when Force Awakens, he's like, it felt so good to see the, you know, they're like, they ran the thing. He's like, we're in this like co-producer, like total film nerd was like, it was only right to shoot on Star Wars on film stock. I'm like, you just shot Rogue One on digital. Shut the fuck up. Like, it's like, let's get out of here. Like, you're doing it because they're willing to pay. They have the budget to do it. You wouldn't do it unless you had the budget. You know, unless you're running that camera and you have to deal with shit. Honestly, dude, you're not shooting film. You're not.
Yeah, like, I think in 2019 it's become a lot different. Even as far as back like when Breaking Bad first started, like
that was 16 millimeter, wasn't it?
35.
Oh, 35.
They pushed hard for 35. It was like I can only do this if it's 30. And it was like some digital shots here and there when it was necessary.
I did not know it was 35.
Yeah, so they pushed. It's like so that's all 35 millimeter.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that looks good.
But it's partially why it looks good. Because that was like what, like 07, 08?
No, I don't think it was that early.
It was 08, 09.
Was it really?
I think so. Like the first
Oh, yeah,
season.
You're right. Yeah, it was
like,
08,
I mean,
09,
it's like 10, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Like technology's gotten a lot farther
because it ended
since
in
then.
14, didn't it?
Yeah, there's 6 seasons. So.
Yeah. See, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, 08. Yeah.
So yeah, but like that's just like I can see like the call being different, especially for TV. Like 35 millimeter would be a good call for like in the 16 mil world because that's what most TV was shot on. Yeah. Until digital became a big thing.
Yeah, 16 mil was mostly TVs. Yeah. Which, by the way, you can do a great stuff with that. Like 16 mil still looks great. Like you could still, as long as to me, I always tell people sometimes they're going into photography. I was like, just get a good lens. I was like, honestly, your camera body, your whatever. But I was like, if you're starting out and you want to make stuff look good, but you know you're kind of shitty at what you do, and like you're new, just get a 1.4 lens. Yeah. Just get it. Shoot it at 2.0.
Yeah, really good lens.
And crush that shit. Get a 50, get a 35 or 50, and just crush that shit. Just crush it until you figure out what you're doing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, expose it.
Well, you just gotta get like a really good macro. So you get real close shots.
Yeah, exactly. People are like, oh, you're out on top.
Yeah, so good.
Jesus, goes right on the eye. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's so good. What's the shot mean? Jesus Christ. Yeah. That's our disdain for the art house. But no, but I'm saying is like I always tell people that I'm like our 18 to 35 1/8s and the 50. I was like, dude, like you just need those two lenses. Like we shoot 1/8 wide open or 2.0, or even if you shoot 2.8. Typically 2.8 is nice because then it's like you got a good depth. You hit your focus marks or whatever. But 2.8 on a 35. It still looks great. Like it gives that depth of field. Like and it comes down. Sometimes I hear some guys are like, yeah, we shoot on 3.0. Maybe 4.0 tops, depending on the speed of the lens. Some cinematographers. It's like true, absolutely, yeah. Like some, totally get it. But like the speed, it's like sometimes, like I said, when in doubt, drop the aperture.
Yeah.
1/8 that bitch,
Dude, I was watching
and that's it.
Do you watch that Make Art Now guy on YouTube?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You see his video with like when he used like the 400mm on his Sony with his.
He's running around. Yeah.
Dude, when the background becomes so blurred, it just becomes just a gradient.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, he was shooting that. I saw that it was like him and a bunch of other guys that you watched.
Some Sony thing.
Sony thing. Yeah, I did see that. And I was like, and I like his stuff too because I like how he kind of like makes his videos like just go out and do it. I love that mentality. He's a little art housey, but at the same time he makes really good stuff. Like his like video with the black magic.
Oh yeah,
it was amazing. But the way they're like dancing, he's like, "This is amazing." I'm like, okay, like,
yeah.
Okay, let's tone it down a bit.
He definitely just made a short film just trying to like see if he can pull off a fucking.
Which, by the way, I love that look. I love the moonlight look. Because I see it so much in my own life. Like when I was like in the military, seeing full moon, we call it full illumination. Yeah. Because when we like do operations based on the moonlight, like you do, like you like, oh, it's full moon, half moon. Can we see in the jungle? Sometimes you can't. Cloud cover, you get a full loom though.
Yeah.
You could see forever. At night. So, but like seeing that on film, like is super cool. Like on a recording, that's not like a.
That wasn't like Mad Max Fury Road, but it was Day for Night.
Yeah, Day for Night. Or they make, or the what is he called? The long exposures. Just like long exposure, and it's like you could tell it's photography long exposure, but like actually doing that. Like, granted, it was very. The way he shot the motion, you could see the motion blur because I think he shot it at like
130 shutter speed.
130, yeah, which is totally fine. Like, but if you're shooting 24, I think if you would do slow moves and really, you could sell it pretty well and fix it.
The video before that he does it kind of he does this like kind of like city shots, like very slow movement. It's kind of like panning around the city. It's like this all natural light.
Yeah, and that like looks gorgeous. And if you just had a locked off, even like if it was just a locked off landscape shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Gorgeous. Yeah. And he was shooting with like, what, it was like a 0.85 or something like that?
Yeah.
It was something stupid.
Insane, yeah.
Yeah, stupid.
Like the world's sharpest lens, he called it.
Yeah. And it was like kind of wide, or was it a 50?
I think it's like a 35 or
35. Because I bet if you got like a 0.8 at like 24, because a lot of stuff's in focus at 24 at that focal length, that you could be like, that'd be dope.
Oh,
yeah, because then you could do like a landscape shot and then like make it, it would blow your mind because you're like, oh my god, it's in focus,
That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Can't imagine that,
dude. That'd be dope. Now you got the black magic, you got the 4K, so we could try to pull it off.
Yeah, we can make anything.
Yeah. Go like it'd be like you almost want to do like on like a here's kicker, do it on a lake.
Yeah,
full illumination.
Ooh, yeah.
Because then at least you'd be refracting off the lake and punch up the ISO and clean it up in the edit and all that stuff, or 0.8 it. And, yeah. I think you can rent that lens, borrow lenses.
So. We'll play around with that fucking the giant tube lens.
Yes, dude, I've been eyeing that motherfucker.
It's expensive.
No, to rent. Just rent it.
Yeah.
I'm willing to rent stuff. Like I'm gonna buy everything. No,
I'm buying it all.
The only other thing I want to buy, and I'm hoping I can make enough money in the next few months, is I was actually talking to Chris about this, is the wireless follow focus, which I could buy right now. I could buy that for like $600 or $700. I could pull the trigger into it. It's not I guess not so much the wireless follow focus. It's the Teradek.
Yeah.
I had that built into my cost, and I'm like, oh man, I really want, dude, that having a wireless director's monitor is clutch.
Yeah.
Like it amps up. Like you show up on a set, I don't care, you show up and you give that to a client whether they paid for it or not, they will pay you your day rate.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like, and just in general, like having it, even if it's just the follow focus, it's just like you and someone else just making sure, dude, that like getting shots in focus is a whole nother animal, because then you're sitting there like this, like and I've done it. You know, the shot you want isn't in focus. It's not, you know, it works, but it's, you know, you're trying to find it in slow mo, and you're, oh, there it is. But like have someone there, be like always being like, yep, we're good. You know, especially with the 18 to 35, it like I was running some rack focusing, and like it does really well. It does almost better than the Canon series. I feel like it does. It's made more for the filmmaker, so you don't have to find the focus as much. It feels like I might be wrong, but because I haven't used the Canon L series in a while, but it feels like you're not searching for it constantly. I feel like it's more consistent.
I could see
when
that.
It goes from like close to distance or just closer, you know. So, but that was like for me, that was, you know, I was thinking about that. I was like, oh man, wireless, like that's the one I had to drop a lot of stuff, but that was like one of them is having
a Teradek,
a Teradek. Even having a Teradek, because I was looking at they had the 7-inch Cine Teradek. They dropped like $500 off it, so it's only $2,000 right now.
Oh damn!
And it has a feed through, because there's one for like $1,700 or $1,600. Now, granted, it's still a lot of money, but like it doesn't have a feed through, so you could actually use the $2,000 one and just use it as a monitor. So because you can run the HDMI in and out and SDI in and out. The other one that's $1,600, you can't run anything in or out. It's just that's it.
Yeah.
So it's like you want to pay the extra $400 because maybe you just want to use it as a monitor. So it's kind of like, okay, you know, and then the Atomos Sumos are going now, and I want to pick up one of those because that would be awesome to even have that, just a big one in the studio to be like, yep, it got it, you know, like especially doing product shit.
Oh, that'd be super
really need to nail it, and you just want to have it just there. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's sharp as shit. Good, we're solid.
They're really nice.
Yeah, because that's what I plan on turning this place into.
Yeah.
Like, we still want to rent out some of the studio, you know, maybe for the month and maybe December, kind of do some car stuff, some bigger stuff. But like, that's what I'm going to be doing alone here is tabletop, getting good at it, just getting good at tech review / film review or whatever, but tabletopping this and being like, yep, this is how it looks. This is what we're doing. This is, you know, how, you know, just practicing. And I want to do that whole, the whatever the fuck that called, that lens.
Yeah, the probe.
The probe.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I'm surprised. That's so crazy that somebody was like, yeah, we're just going to make this long ass fucking
insane macro.
Yeah, and they only came out like 2 years ago. They've had some lenses like that, but not that easily done. Like, I don't know why anybody didn't think of it before.
It's really cool.
Yeah, they kept having that video too, where like they would like boom, shoot the air, and people were like, "That's." I was like, "That's not how that works."
Yeah,
I was like, "No, it doesn't."
That's not how that works at all.
No, yeah, but but regardless, like, I was watching some reviews on it. It's like amazing, and I mean, like, just what you're trying to do with it, especially how close you get to it, so you can get like right there, because of the length of the flange distance is like right at the end of that thing, so they like calculate it, you know, obviously for macro stuff, but and
so
it starts at like doesn't it start at like a fucking like 5.0 aperture? It's like a super high aperture.
It's 5.6,
5.6 or something. Yeah.
Well, it has an LED at the end of it.
Yeah, so it can punch out light, which is like dope as shit too. So you're like,
super dope. Yeah, I want to do some really cool, like very like crafty videos of like people like making stuff.
Yeah.
Like, silent, just like hand model kind of thing.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And like just something that's more commercially viable. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing too, is like now jumping into that. So like now it's cool to focus on this type of stuff and doing video content and making, so that at least that it feels better to, it almost feels like a buffer. It feels like, to me, it feels like, so we're all creating stuff. It actually feels like good potential to make revenue, and then also be like, okay, we're still creating stuff, opposed to just going after spec work. Because I went after the spec work before, and we've like shot that stuff, and it always either falls through or they love it and they're like, yeah, we'll give you a call sometime. But you're never at least if you throw it up on YouTube, or you're like doing stuff on YouTube or on podcasts, and you can at least get the money generated and then be able to keep up doing that spec, and then till something goes. Or like I said, film writer, do whatever, and just be like, we're gonna make a feature. Like the feature's gonna, we got $20,000, we're gonna make a feature. We got 100, we got whatever, you know, and go from there. Or write scripts and do whatever. So yeah, do you got any ideas what you want to do?
I got a few.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You want to announce them on this podcast?
Yeah, sure. I got why not?
Why not?
This is an exclusive.
Yeah.
Peek the mic. Yeah, there's like I really want to do like a Judd Apatow-esque kind of comedy feature, like comedy but with like a lot of heart on the back end.
Yeah.
Makes you really care.
Yeah.
But stuff like that, or I got a few sketches ideas. I have like 30 sketch ideas.
Yeah.
Like, so I would like to put like a sketch a week.
Yeah.
Or even just like once a month, put out like a 20-minute like sketch show.
Yeah.
Would be really nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's dope as shit.
Yeah.
I think what I want to do is do a short feature, or I shouldn't say short feature, a short film. But I love your guys' sketch ideas for stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I love that one with the Squarespace. We got to do that.
So good.
It's so good. And I want to put those in front of mine. I'm not going to be sponsored by them, but I would totally want to be like, is that fucking real? Like, you know, like, yeah. But it's like I really want to shoot a feature. So, like, I just want to shoot the shittiest feature. I just want to do it.
Yeah.
I just want to do it.
Well, hi, Mark.
Actually, yeah, hi, Mark. Yeah. But the other thing, though, too, is I also, Chris was telling me about some of the ideas, and like, I was thinking about this a lot the other day, and I kind of thought it would be an awesome challenge. That's why I want to approach people who have the ideas and or are willing to part with their ideas on some of the stuff. Like the girl that we went to school with, the director, Chris works with her. Why am I blanking on her name? No, not Maria. She's the one that does all the cosplay stuff, the cosplay, however you pronounce it.
Oh, Vanessa.
Vanessa, yeah. She shot that short about the girl that fights monsters or whatever.
Yeah.
And I totally was like, I want to do an idea of that. But I don't know if that's her idea or if it's like an anime idea or if it's, yeah. You know, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. And I was like, not to be a dick, but at part of like I saw it and I was like, again, not to be a dick, I think she's super solid, but like I had my own take on it. I was like, I think I could do something not way cooler, but something in my own aspect to be like, oh yeah, let's fucking run with that, you know. But it's like, you know, I don't know if that's her idea or if that's something that's, you know, intellectual property or something like that.
I think so. I mean, like, not the idea of fighting monsters. It's sort of been done and over with.
Yeah.
Like, there's like 5 TV shows out now about it, type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
but it's like one of those deals where, I don't want to, you know, like step on your shit, but it's like, give me a crack at this. Like, I'd love to do a short like that.
Yeah. Well, Chris is doing a few of those like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a few ideas on the pipeline for that.
Yeah. Because it's like, I hear that and I'm like, God damn it. Like, cool. Just tell me that premise, like girl fights okay. Yeah. And I'll fucking run with it. But not, you know, that's what I was thinking is I don't want to like step on her intellectual property and be like, oh yeah, this was my idea and this and that. And it's like, all right, you know, but because the other thing too is I hopped on a website, Fiverr, and there's people. Yeah. And I'm like, give or take, but at least people like do if you want to get a visual effects shot done or something else done or
there's a lot of it's like a semi big thing for trending for like YouTubers right now. Like, I've paid 5 different people on Fiverr to do this one thing. Yeah. Let's see what happened.
Did it turn out okay?
No.
No. No.
It'll be like I paid 5 people on Fiverr 5 drastically different prices to design a logo for me. Yeah. So they're like, this one was $5. Like, looks like trash. I was like, okay, you paid $5 for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know. Fiverr bothers me.
Yeah. Fiverr bothers.
For some reason.
Well, I think if you're paying like legit money, like there's like $400, $500, $600, no shit. Like, and I've seen some people's work. I'm like, oh, that's really good. But it would almost be like, if I'm willing to pay you $600 for 1 or 2 shots, you know, or this or that, it's like it better be fucking. You know, but again, though, what's the industry rate? Maybe that shot should actually cost $3,000. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, what, you know, because there's a guy that just does strictly, I found on there, he does strictly, which I think would be, if you could divvy it up, he does strictly, what do you call it? Tracking, 3D tracking.
Oh, sure.
So, like, I'm like, oh, well, yeah. Because if you could, like, split it up with people, be like, I'm going to pay this dude $100 per shot to 3D track professionally. Yeah, because a lot of people say like the guys on Corridor Crew were like the best aspect they got from professional studio was like the 3D tracking was off the hook, like it was off the chain. They were like the fact that they gave us a 3D tracking and that was it, but it made our lives like 1,000 times easier because it was like perfectly done, and that's all that person does. Their whole sole purpose in life is to 3D track professional film or filmmaking, whatever the fuck. Yeah. But like, so it's like if you're paying somebody that like 100, you know, they're like they're gonna make sure that is solid. Like that could really help out. Be like they're gonna 3D track, and you're 100%. And you're like, oh cool, now I'm gonna hand the track off to a guy that's gonna now do the CGI. Yeah, you can maybe make his life easier. Be like, oh okay, the camera's gonna, you know what I mean? Like at least if you got that done, like I feel like you could maybe Fiverr might work out for you. Sure. Because I don't know anybody that does that shit locally. It's not like us where we can like we'd be like, yeah, we could do that for you for this amount, and we can make this work. It's like I don't know anybody that's like, yeah, man, let me create a monster and we're gonna make this look good. I don't know anybody that like that.
Chris just buys the models off like Turbo Squid.
Yeah.
Pre-made ones.
Yeah. But even then, you could be like, all right, I'm going to hand this to off the dude on Fiverr and be like, animate this.
Sure.
You know, because it is about, to me, it's about turnaround time getting it done.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to sit on a short film for 3 years because I need to track it and then pre-rig it. Yeah, or something. Yeah. Exactly. Because someone doesn't know how to.
Stuck on some road.
Yeah, exactly. Or, yeah, I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I mean, like, the hardest part is actually just like finishing it. Like, finishing stuff's hard for me.
Yeah.
It's like it's so distracted by shiny stuff.
Yeah. Well, the same thing was with me too. Is like not so much finishing, but if it's too complicated, it's too hard to finish. Like I want to shoot. I want to have something where I'm like, hey, this has a visual effects shot in it. I'm not gonna finish that. I can do regular stuff, but when it comes to like when we were in film school and I was learning After Effects, and I was like kind of balls deep into it for a while. But there was a few of those times, that one shot or the other stuff I was working on. I'm like, no, like I was like, I can't do that. I can't do everything. Like I can't. Like I'm trying to audio it. I'm trying to direct it. I'm trying to write it. I'm trying to fucking color grade it, and now I'm gonna do the visual effects for it, and I have to track every fucking piece of it. Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's just too much. It's too much. Yeah, at one point you have to hire somebody, whether it be editing to edit your feature film or to edit your stuff because you can't edit, Yeah. It might be a good idea.
I feel that.
Yeah, so, or if you can't do visual effects, then fucking hire somebody, man. Like, then at least, like, people would be happy if you're like, here's $500, please finish this for me. May not look the best, but at least it's done. Or at least it's, like, people give you an A for effort.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel that.
I've seen some pretty shitty stuff where I'm, like, on, like, television, and you're like, Jesus Christ. Actually, Corridor Digital, or they did a visual effects, and it was, like, a full-blown TV series, like Superwoman, and they're like, Jesus. And then, like, what the one guy was like, I knew the guy that worked on this. He did it himself. Like, it was one dude did the whole episode.
That's how it is, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they have, like, a week turnaround.
Especially back in the day. Like, it was like, you could tell it was, like, mid-2000.
That
like,
Supergirl one?
Or was it, like,
that
2010? Was it really? Like,
it was
recently?
It was this season.
Oh, it's terrible.
But they have, like, a week turnaround.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, a lot of the visual effects are, like, planned out in advance to a certain extent, but, like, they shoot and edit that show in a week. It's a running gear.
No shit.
You gotta put out 22 episodes a season, man. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
You have 3 months off with a break.
Yeah, that is true.
You have holiday break and you have summer break. That's all you get off for TV. Like, so you have like 20 weeks out of the year. You gotta create 22 episodes.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No shit. I didn't know that. I thought they had. I mean, at least I don't know.
That's why they use the same 4 sets with the same 5 characters.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I said, but at least at our level, like, to me, it's like I'd like to find somebody that could, like, even on Fiverr, I'd be like, at least if I had the disposable income to be like, okay, here's it all done. Here's the final edit. I need to slip in these 5 visual effects shots.
Sure. Yeah.
Let's go. Like, let's work together on it. Because it's like, you're not going to find anybody local. Maybe there's someone local. I just don't know them.
Yeah, you just got to post it up on the forums, man.
But if people work faster when there's money involved. Even if you threw $100 in somebody, they're like, okay, I fucking owe this guy something.
So doing for my Z-Fest, I'm not paying anyone, like, great, but I'm paying almost everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not paying Chris.
You're not going to pay me either if I show up.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
I'm paying, like the summer performers, I'm paying money. And, like, I tell them all at the bat, I'm like, I know it's not a lot. This is all coming out of my pocket.
Yeah.
For Z-Fest, which has 0 payoff.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm throwing them all, like, whatever.
Yeah.
I have, like, 5 people that I have to, like, now pay. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Shit's expensive.
Yeah.
Stuff sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah. That's tough. I mean, it is. It's like, yeah. But also, though, too, you feel those people are going to feel obligated to actually do some shit.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother animal. Like, as soon as money gets involved, it's always another animal.
Oh, yeah.
It always is. So, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like it's like doing visual effects for me is like the big one. Like, because I always have ideas where I'm like, oh, this would be great. Like, visual effects, this and that. I'm like, okay, cool. Not too heavy, but it's something that would be really, like, fucking separate itself from.
I feel that.
Yeah. So.
Just gotta get your pyro license so we can fire out blank rounds on set.
Oh, I know. That's the other thing I always keep Googling is, like, who's a local armorer? No one. Yeah, there's no one local.
There's no money in it here. You have to fly someone out from LA.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then it's like, all right, how much is the blanks? How much? Because you're paying for the fucking blanks, obviously. And then you're paying for the armor's time. And then you're paying for whatever you use. And you're just like, Jesus, man. but the result is so amazing, dude. I don't care what people say. You can't replace fucking real deal shit with all of it in After Effects. It'd be like if you do 80% real and 20% After Effects, I think it'd be great. But as soon as you're like 80% After Effects, not even 20% real, because then you're just using fake guns. You can always tell. It's always like, you know, like
you have to like go and record your own muzzle flashes and stuff.
Yeah. But even then, though, it's like a real muzzle flash. You know, like on set doing real shit. Like that's just no replacement for that. Like Heat, they always refer to that. But that downtown shootout in Heat is just amazing. And that's all real. You know, obviously because it's like mid-90s. It's so fucking good.
So good.
So good.
See, but you just gotta go, next time you go down to Texas, you just gotta film a bunch of muzzle flashes on that range.
On that range,
Yeah, set up a nice black screen, just fucking record them all.
I bet Texas got an armor.
Oh yeah.
I bet they got a film armor because there's like they got I don't know San Antonio, but there's like a lot of film houses down there. Austin and San Antonio, I think. Well, I shouldn't say San Antonio a lot, but I know Austin does. And there's a Phil Productions out of San Antonio.
Sure.
Like it's a good state to be in general for like filmmaking. Yeah. There's a lot. It's pretty
ATL.
Fun. Yeah. ATL the same way.
Tyler Perry. Do you see videos of like Tyler Perry's lot?
No.
It's massive.
Does he rent stuff out to studios then? He probably makes a lot of money doing that.
He's going to, like black creators and stuff. And Black independents and all. These are like rented for like stupid cheap to like black creators.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty solid.
Which is great, but it's like, I think it's the second biggest lot in the U.S. behind Disney.
Tyler Perry's? No shit.
His own personal
He just
lot,
bought a shitload of land, like he's in the fucking new lot now.
Yeah, well, it's like he has like his own network and stuff.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. Yeah, he's just producing a shitload of TV shows now.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
he's got an audience though for it. Like
it's
people are
huge.
like, "What the fuck is?" Because I've watched a few of those, and I'm like, Jesus. But you know, he's got an audience, and he makes some bank.
Well, now he just like does producing now for the most part.
Yeah,
but, like, overall, I mean, it's like just. The lot is massive, and he's just changing the game for low budget cinema, especially for people of color, which is great.
Yeah, which is cool, absolutely.
More voices means more stories.
Because that's something I would love to do, like if I ever had a fantasy, is like to bring stuff here, but it wouldn't be anywhere downtown Minneapolis. Be like kind of like do what Rodriguez did back in the '90s, like because he was out of Texas.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like it was like, oh, that's probably dead, isn't it?
Probably.
Yeah, I bet that's dead.
Uh-oh.
We're going to single cam.
Single cam.
Single cam just on me, apparently. But I guess we can wrap it up. We're at an hour 20 some.
Plus the first part we did.
That's what I'm saying. We're at an hour right now.
Oh, damn.
And so it's like hour 20.
All right.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, we should probably wrap it up.
Wrap it
then.
up.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet, man.
Right
Well, it was awesome talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
First podcast in the can.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, we're signing off.
Cut it.
Boom.